in the distance. I could feel the fear, the resistance. Everything can change in an instant. You might stay alive if you listen. Your best friend is your instincts, don't think. Trust me, everything can change in a blink. Hearts race, I can feel my heart pounding. Hold our heads up and this the chant we'll be shouting. This is war, you won't take me. This is war, you can't break me. It's just me, no saving. I'm the only one who could save me. So stand strong, stand tall, stay up, don't fall. Give it everything you want, no fears, no walls. Just fight, no laws, push yourself to the limits. It's the fight for it all.
Welcome everybody, finally to the March of the Machine set. It took me a while to get used to a limited card pool, but I think by now I have a really decent deck that I can present you, and the upgrades I'm gonna present you in the end of the video in the breakdown part, so definitely stay tuned or just skip to the end to check out how I will play this deck in an upgrade version. But for now, let's check out this Jeskai sort of token build built around our Quintorius Loremaster, a 5 mana 3/5 that has a really complex text, and I would say if this card stays on the board longer than one turn, you will definitely take over the game and most likely win this game, because this dude allows us not only with vigilance to go for some damage, but also at the end of our turn we're gonna exile a card from our graveyard, a non-creature, non-land card, and we can play it by sacrificing the token that he's gonna create, a 3/2 spirit token that we can sacrifice by tapping our Loremaster and paying 3 mana to play this card for free. So this is an amazing advantage, especially in cards or removal, depends what you need, but I also sneak in a little bit of counter spells, not much, but let's check out what is there hidden behind this card. So we have a 1 mana drop, of course. For best of 1 we need removal, especially in this format now with March of the Machines, where there are so many powerful creatures, but usually they have maximum toughness of 4. This is why I thought Voltage Scourge would be perfect answer in the early game, but also in the mid to late game we can answer the most threats from my opponent by just sacrificing an artifact. And what does produce artifacts with spells? Of course, our third path, Iconoclast, a 2 mana in blue and red 2/1 that poops every time we cast an instant on sorcery, artifact soldier. So this is definitely something really synergistic and really powerful with our Scourge, but also with a lot of other effects. And you see here, maybe I have 2 cards on the side where I thought it's not only from March of the Machine like our new battle, but also I believe this card come out with Dominaria, correct me if I'm wrong, Raff, Weatherlight, Stalwart, a 2 mana, white and the blue, 1/3 that says whenever we cast an instant and sorcery, so again the synergy with instant and sorceries, we can tap 2 creatures, and because we are talking pooper or token deck, we can easily tap these creatures and draw cards, so we get a card advantage. But also in the late game, especially then when we need it, swing for a really big hit, we can pay 5 mana and creatures we control get +1/+1 and vigilance until end of turn. And vigilance play certain role because we also have some convoke synergy in our deck. You see maybe here we have 4 copies of our Invasion of Segovia, and Invasion of Segovia, if it's flipped, so the battle is just for loyalty big, and we flip it into a 3/3 that says non-creature spells we cast have convoke. And this is just amazing because not only our planeswalker, for example like Wandering Emperor and Elspeth Resplendent, is a non-creature spell that can be convoked super easy with all the tokens, but also we have some refillers, like here for example our Transcendence Message is a 4 mana and X convoke, draw X cards, and often this refills your hand by 7 or 8 cards. Really easy, especially if the instant spin in opponent's turn, we can refill our hand and finish the game usually on the next turn. And don't forget the synergy always with our Loremaster, because we can replay these cards from the graveyard for free even, so this is just an amazing opportunity we got here with Convoke, but also with Loremaster. And Loremaster can be tapped on opponent's turn. This is maybe something you're gonna see in the gameplay, I hope so, because we have also 2 counter spells. We have 1 time Make Disappear and 1 time Negate. We can exile these cards, and then in opponent's turn, if opponent play something dangerous, we can sacrifice the token, exile it, and counter it. A lot of people forget about it, especially your opponents are not ready for it. And let's talk a little bit about Mercadia. This battle, 2 mana, enters the battlefield, we discard a card, draw 2 cards, so we get a little bit of card advantage, similar to Bitter Reunion that can give our creatures haste. But here, if we flip it, it's again a pump effect also, because for 3 mana and tap, we can discard a card, create 2 1/1 tokens that can be also used for connive. But better is every creature that we control gets +1/+0 and haste, and this is just an amazing way to finish out the game, especially if you have a lot of mana available. We can easily play our creatures, we can play our third path, and then play some instant and sorceries, and then at the end we can just discard a card and give everything haste and +1/+0, and this can finish out the games really fast out of nowhere. Zurgo and Ojutai, 5 mana 4/4 flying haste, reminds me a little bit of Goldspan Dragon, and maybe it is, maybe it's even better. I would like to run a little bit more of it, but sadly I don't have my wild cards to make it, so definitely here I would increase it to 2, because this creature is so difficult to interact. When it enters the battlefield, it has haste, but also it has hexproof as long as it enters the battlefield this turn, and then if we deal damage to opponent or to a battle, we can look 3 cards deep and choose 1 card that we put into our hand, so we get a card advantage plus damage plus maybe battle flip, and then at the end we can also return it back, so my opponent cannot easily sweep it. So imagine this situation, we play it on opponent's turn, opponent cannot go for throat it or grasp it or anything else because it has hexproof. Also opposing Wandering Emperor is not a biggie because it cannot be targeted. We deal this safe damage, we get a card advantage, and then we return it to our hand even if a opponent swipes. Next turn we have again a flying haste hexproof creature that goes for a lot of damage. So this creature is really resilient, really powerful, and I'm really surprised by the performance of it because it won me many games when I drew. And of course, one of the main factors for a budget deck that is really difficult to run 3 colors is our mana base. You see, maybe I put all our rare lands into this deck and the rest kept basic because I just don't have the dual lands available. But so far I didn't really had an issue with the mana base, to be honest. But if you have the duals, definitely go more for the duals. Maybe not the pain lands because we are not accelerating so fast in the first 2-3 turns, but the normal dual lands that come into the play untapped if you have 2 or more lands are definitely something I would recommend to include here. Altogether we run 25 lands, and with this being said, let's go and check out this beauty in action. Alright, here we are in our first game against Velinera. Let's see, this hand is okay actually. We're gonna open up with Tapland? Let's go with Tapland. Who cares, we don't have anything else. Covering both of our sides, just in case we draw. Oh, okay, Man of Culture here. Maybe 5 colors, mid-range, 5 colors control. No, so far just banned. I'm not a big fan of making this appear on the play, but this will maybe give us some really nice plays here, and we have with Zurgo some abilities to provide some pressure, but also here is a really nice, I believe, interaction between Sigomia and third path Ironclad. Wow. Okay. Sure. Sure, my friend. Draw a land. Let's go with Sigomia. In this case, if my opponent is such a anti-fun. And next turn, ooh, good blocker. Let's see if he can do here something. Okay. This goes for 2, right? He will block with Gwenya, and Gwenya has the toughness that I cannot flash in the Wandering Emperor. So let's chill. Let's see what my opponent is gonna do. If he taps the Gwenya maybe for something, if he taps Laurent, that's good. Draw me a card. Oh, there is not a land, please game, not a land. And Zurgo is also amazing by flipping battles. This is why I would like to run a little bit more copies of Zurgo. Otherwise, okay. Let's block 1. Sure. He has something. He has something there. The question is what, right? Let's see. He has a counter spell. He has a counter spell. In this case, because she will get untapped and get more. Okay. So let's go like this. Let's put a 1/1 counter on you. Then let's deal here some damage. They can cast spells if I get something like a stance from the top. This is amazing. Do we bounce it back? No, because I don't think my opponent has a direct removal spell. Then we can cast stance, destroying creature, by casting with creatures. And then we're gonna untap my creatures. Submit and have Thirst of Discovery open. So that we can also play with Connive. Oh, Convoke. Why do I have Connive in my head? With Convoke, Union of the Third Path. Also interesting card. Would maybe also fit in this deck, but not so good. Each opponent sacrifice a non-token. You Freaker, huh? I don't want to get rid of my Dragon, honestly. Dragon is card advantage. Should have Third of Discovery, but I forgot about it. But not a big deal. We have another one. This is why we run so many of them. Now we can go here. Here. Go attackers. Si, senor. Let's see what we got from the top. Another Thirst of Discovery is okay. Sure. Decline. Bring it back. Play it out. Give a plus to this token. Play Thirst of Discovery because I think I didn't. Hey, with creatures! Game, huh? Game. Get rid of the red source. And then 1, 2, 3. Untap. So can play Scourge with our Convoke of Zurgo, because red, he adds red mana. Oof, nice! What a play here, huh? What a refiller. Falco, what else? Falco, Nimbler, Bloated, Volrak. Wow, okay. So, just 3 cards? Do I see it right? No, 2 cards. It's all creatures and lands. Yeah, just 2 cards. Pass, my turn. Okay, don't mind me. We have Stance in the graveyard, right? So if I play now the Loremaster, can you play these things, please, with mana from the... Play you with mana of the creatures. Discarding Scourge. Okay. Then let me see. He can pump everything next turn. You will get me a land out. Yes. And let's create one more white.
May your blade strike true.
With you. Create more tokens. No attacks. We take the stance out. And we're gonna untap 1, 2, 3, 4. Like this. Like this. Question is, do I sacrifice Zurgo? I don't think so, because I can play my Wandering Emperor with our Loremaster, right? So this is definitely something I'm not really scared to protect or something, you know, like, it's okay. He now has multiple threats. Okay. If he kills Wandering Emperor, as I said, Loremaster can replay Wandering Emperor because non-creature, non-land. And... who do I sacrifice? You. But I think I can also kill my opponent next turn. We're gonna see. Okay, Shana can draw one extra card if he attacks with attacks on our Wandering Emperor. That's okay.
Back to wandering.
Not next turn, turn after. Discard you. Return you. How much? Wandering Emperor, we have the 2. Play the land. Let's pass. Let's pass. Wandering Emperor. Gonna see what my opponent is running there. Okay, let's kill it now, because maybe he can draw into something, right? Sacrificing you. Destroy creature with 4 or greater. Tap 2 creatures, draw a card. Resolve. And he cannot replay Atraxa just in case he has maybe another one, right? I believe next turn we shall win. Upon reveals their hand to choose an artifact. Source Engine is an artifact. I totally didn't know about it, but it's okay. Who plays against Nimble Laceristus? Nobody. Like, don't tell me you play against it. Nobody play against it. 5, but he doesn't have anything to draw, so it's okay. My turn. Okay. So I will say let's go all in on the face. There is only one place. Okay. Pump effect. Let's pump everything. And let's do it one more time, just for the sake, right? And we're gonna take Waiting Announcement. Don't have more mana available to counter spell, but also I believe Ballerina is done. She doesn't need to protect. Good game. Good game, Ballerina. Let's go next. Here we are against Schwoops, and this hand looks terrible. We need white source. And I think, I mean, if we draw white source, we're gonna escalate like crazy, right? So, should we keep it? Let's keep it. How good was it, the first game? Sugar, huh? Sugar. I liked it. I liked it. And this deck has a lot of this place where you are like thinking about different patterns. No, don't tell me it's mono blue, bro, please. There is a card against mono blue. I'm gonna show it to you. No, you are a toxic deck. Okay. Toxic is okay, but I still didn't draw my white source, and we desperately need our white source. And our deck is more white dominant, so white sources should be available to us to draw, but the game is sometimes like, hey, I give you all the white cards, but not a white land. If this is okay, you say like, bro, please, bro, por favor. Jesus. Okay, let's chill. Let's see, my opponent is most likely a Simic Poison deck. that don't have the Rot Priest in the hand. Give me the 4 and the 2. There's maybe a bunch of protection spells too, right? But we're gonna see if we can overtake the bloated with some tokens. I need my white source. Okay, another bloated. One mana open, so maybe like shore up or how it goes? Ah, sure. I have nothing to follow up on the Ironclad, right, for 2 mana. So this is why I think playing you. So let's start ticking the Wedding Announcement. Wedding Announcement will help me to pop off. And next turn, Iconoclast into Thirst of Discovery, I believe. Although first Thirst of Discovery will be better, because then we could maybe find a stance, right? But we're gonna see. True Bloated is dangerous, and I'm not ready to sacrifice my whole board to just kill one of them. This is why go in for 8 and give me 6 poison counters. He has something like shore up or something in this direction, right? Because otherwise he will not sit like this and suck on his thumb. Right? Right. Okay. Cool. So maybe my opponent gonna poison me to death, but if it's the case, so be it. The Sir Ironclad will be most likely a little bit too slow. Decline. You and you. I want this land. No attacks. Okay. Let's see. If shore up, it gets +1/+0. This is why I block with 5, so it doesn't connect with me, right? If not, he will just be not. Okay. You have another one? If so, so be it, right? Then it's just good. Yeah, you see, he has another one. So this is how we die to poison. It's okay. He had so much good interactions there that we were a little bit too slow. But it's okay. Life happens. Let's go next. Against Mr. Mean. Finally, we are allowed to go first. And this looks like a solid hand. This is why let's go first. Nothing on 1, right? Turn 2, Path. Turn 3, Restoration. Turn 4, maybe call Disappear open. This will be for my opponent. The turn 3. So this, but in general, as I already said multiple times, make Disappear is not something I want to have in my opening hand on the play. On the draw, yeah, sure, why not, bro? But on the play, Restoration will return me the Iconoclast. You know it, right? You know it. Like, there is no questions that you don't know it. Looks like a Rakdos, maybe Rakdos reanimation will be possible, will be interesting. But this is discard the white source, not the blue source. We have enough of blue. Ironclast. Bring it, my friend, bring it. And do nada, right? Opponent thinks like, oh, Wandering Emperor. Wandering, I just have 1. If I would have more, I will play more, definitely. But so far we have just 1, only 1. And let's see, make Disappear I want to keep, because I think he plays this Geeks reanimation stuff. So most likely my opponent can discard something with the Blood He's Grixis. Okay. This is something I wanna answer. Because my opponent decided that this is the way. I think make disappear is the best answer for Kiki, because Kiki provides you so much value, or you need to use a lot of your removals, or am I interested to hold this card? Sure, why not? I think my opponent will invoke Despair me next turn. This is why the Restoration will do its job. And let's go forward. We have Stance open to protect, but also Stance to remove, just in case my opponent decides to spot remove the Architect, for example, or something else. Except with Bloodlet Harvester, the Iconoclast, he can remove the Iconoclast, obviously. But with spot removals, not. Right? And if you play Shirley, Stance. But usually Grixis run only like 2 copies of Shirley, not so much. Okay. Not a biggie. Okay. I could not protect with Stance, by the way. Who wonders, minus effect still applies above -1/-1, or underneath -1/-1, so -1 will win if you are indestructible still, because the toughness is not existent. You can remember it this way. Okay. Discard you, Senior. Get back you, Senior. Play you, Senior. And go with the Architect forward. Creating more tokens, getting our Thirst of Discovery open, also Stance is open, so we're gonna see what my opponent has. As I said, mostly I'm scared that he's, for example, now cycle the Blood token, put a Traxa into the board, and then play the Geeks thingy, and then kill everything, right? Let's draw right now, because I want to use my mana more optimum, and then in my upkeep, I'm gonna put an upkeep stop just in case the game forgets it. I'm gonna Stance the Shieldred, right? Easy peasy lemon squeezy, as I always like to say. Stance, babam, say hasta la vista baba, hasta la vista baba. A little bit scared of a sweeper, honestly, but let's see first what we draw, right? Tomame padu. So the Geeks thingy will not destroy everything. And I still believe my opponent has... Invoke Despair. This is why I don't see a point now to stay back. Especially because I think I'm gonna hit something like Waiting Announcement from the top with our Elspeth. Obviously minus, because Invoke Despair, right? Creature, Artifact, Planeswalker. Full value for Invoke Despair, but 0 card draw. And I think for Grixis it's better to draw the cards than to handle the board. But in general, I think Grixis goes a little bit down, because tokens are really powerful. And them not running the Geeks command that says all creatures with 2 power 2 or less die, and then sacrifice a creature, blah blah. If they don't run it, they are done, so, right? So we need Invoke Despairs and Shieldred's Edict and whatever they run, Upbraid and go for Throat is not enough. And here make Disappear maybe in the hand, or maybe some Negates in the hand, is also greedy to play Shieldred without keeping the protection for her open, but so be it, right? So be it. Opponent looping me, Mr. Mean, this is really mean. You see what I did there? earlier or later it's gonna be resolved. But this gives me the opportunity maybe to chit-chat a little bit with you about the little synergies and everything going on in this deck and the improvements. I'm gonna obviously also mention at the end of the video some improvements, but as I already said, Dating Announcement is a really powerful card, will fit in this archetype really good, and there is this nice synergies where you can play Dating Announcement into Iron Path, keep a removal or some interaction open, and turn 5 Segovia, instantly flipping a Segovia with all your tokens and all the shenanigans that you have. So let's play Segovia, get a little bit more tokens. We're gonna go 1, 2 on Segovia, and 1, 2 on the face, because I don't want to give my opponent too much time. Okay, my opponent... I knew this interaction. If it comes with shield counters, the shield counters will absorb the damage from your creatures. I knew it. I had already a game where I made exactly the same mistake. It's terrible. Missed out on damage, missed out on flipping my Segovia. But looks like Mr. Mean just gave up, maybe go make some coffee or lunch or whatever he has in mind. Oof. Lucky us. So Mr. Mean don't want. Maybe he plays on mobile and just closed the app, right? But I got still looped. So a lot of things could have happened. Who knows? Don't wanna beat his dude that says, oh, he's an asshole, ban him. But it's a nice game, so let's go next. Here we are, going first without White Force, but everything else is playable. A little bit too much lands, but I think it's a keeper. Let's play my mountain. Let's see if this is an aggro deck. We have good chances. If this is not an aggro deck, then it's also possible. Okay. Let's go. Here we are against LSD, going first with a super bad hand. Not liking to keep 2 landers with this hand. Okay, let's put the elephant back, even though the deck is built around him. Play the red source, maybe if we draw blue source, we can play Iconoclast into Waiting Announcement. Is a nice, yes, is a nice play pattern. I like it really much. And then, of course, recover with Thirst. Okay, Waiting Announcement. My opponent with, what the hell are you? Demolition Field. What? Sacrifice your straight non-basic land. Ah, okay. Sure. I have a lot of basics. Field of Ruins. Are you like some sort of land destruction? Like, bro, I'm gonna destroy all the lands. So, okay, bro. Do that. Draw cards? Let's draw cards. Drew some cards. More blue or more white? We are mainly white, this is why let's keep this like this. And then we're gonna keep this like this, then we're gonna this like this, draw some cards with Video Announcement. Another one. You see, we have multiple of them there. They're just so powerful. Again, third pass into Waiting Announcement. Maybe my opponent has some sweepers. Another Waiting Announcement, okay. But because he didn't block with his token, shows me maybe that he is not running such a thing here, and we are escalating here with tokens. Right, we are escalating with tokens, and we are drawing a bunch of cards. My opponent can exchange with everything. He doesn't. We draw more. Oh wow, there's a lot of lands, but it's okay. So let's see, double white. Does he has it? Do he run sweepers? Both Waiting Announcements on the board. My opponent has also 2. Maybe he runs 4 of them. Elspeth. Oh, nice. Maybe he's gonna hit another Waiting Announcement. Mine also on Elspeth is good. But Scourge will take care of her anyway. Sure. I believe the shield token go away as soon as it's transformed, right? Sure. So. So first off, Scourge on Elspeth, because life gain. We don't want my opponent to gain life. Then you to create my token, because I'm gonna attack all now, right? Like, I'm not gonna chill back, because also the restoration will give me the thingy back. Keep you, doesn't matter. Let's go all face. There is no other place than the face. And LSD blocks, obviously. Blocks, and 2 comes through. Totally fine. Overextending? I think so. This will overextend. We chill. We chill. Thrill of Discovery. Not the best draw, but it's okay. My opponent needs to sweep now, right? This will be overextending. Because if my opponent do not sweep now, then he's dead on the board next turn. If he sweeps, we can recover with the Restoration of Ilganjo. I thought so.
I fight for the entire multiverse. Kneel before the Emperor of Khan.
That's good decision. Good decision from my opponent, honestly. Discard the white source? No, the red. We have enough red. Discard the white red source. Return Ironclad. The lad. Ironclad the lad. Let's see what we draw. Now I'm upset that I played my land already, because I would like to keep the Make Disappear open. Let's prepare for the next sweeper, right? Let's prepare for the next sweeper. No attacks, obviously. Because now if my opponent sweeps, I can get my stuff back again. Would be maybe a plan to play search engine to make it unblockable 5/4? Unblockable 5/4? No, bigger, right? No, 5/4. Unblockable 5/4, so this will be a nail in a coffin, but I believe my opponent has something else to sweep, or something else to interact. So we're gonna see. We is gonna see. And he has the Destroy Evil, I think. Okay. I think he has Destroy Evil for my Vading Announcements or for my Restoration, because he's thinking about... No? Okay. I still think he has it. Okay. See, he still has it. Just lie down arms. I'm sure he has it. Like, there is no chance he doesn't.
Patience.
Okay. Patience. No. So, let's discard the plane. Get back our Ironclad. The lad. Before we play the land now, let's be smarter. Let's draw some cards. Another lad. Decline. Discard you and discard... Scheiße. Discard another lad. The lad, huh? Then we play you, destroy creature with 5-6 more. Play you and go attack you for once.
Time is up.
And then keep the Make Disappear open, right? Because there is something my opponent, sneaky ficky. YouTube is not German. Wandering Emperor, you say? A good game, my friend. Good game. good game. Definitely good game, LSD, and I think on this point we're gonna make it cut. We won a bunch, we lost a little bit against Toxic. Let's go to the breakdown. We're gonna talk a little bit in a breakdown about the sideboard options, about alternatives that I had in mind, and what I think about the deck. Is it worth crafting or not? So let's go. So here we are, my friends, with the breakdown part that I don't do so often because I think certain decks need more explanation, but especially now when I have limited card pool. I want to tell you which card I would like to add and which card I would like to exclude, and what works, what doesn't work. So you saw in the gameplay a lot of different synergies. In the game 1 we saw our Loremaster, we saw our Raff, how they pop off, and even though it does pop off, but I still think, for example, things like Raff could be replaced with more waiting announcement. Things like Restoration of El Ganjo is too slow in the current meta, is too slow. If you are facing a grindier matchup that I was facing, luckily in the video, in some of them, you saw maybe how Restoration of El Ganjo pops off, right? It's a super powerful card as long as the meta stays more mid-range to control. Then Restoration of El Ganjo, super card. Against Mono Black, super card. Against Rakdos, super card. But everything else runs over it. And I would consider best of one meta being more I run over you before you run over me. This is why to take control, waiting announcement is better. Against aggro, it poops out tokens that can jump block, and then later everything gets bigger, and so on. This is why I will cut Restoration of El Ganjo. If you are a fan of this card, maybe cut one and one of Raff, because Raff has the similar effect for 5 mana to give +1/+1 and Vigilance you saw maybe with Segovia, sugar thing, right? You can make some combo tricks and so on and so on. You can play other things, but nonetheless, super ability. And yeah, Restoration of El Ganjo I will cut. Then Atsushi. Impossible. And I had one game where Atsushi won me the game. One game. No more. Usually it's more painful because your opponent can reanimate it. To Atsushi. This is why I would cut Atsushi and add definitely at least one more Wandering Emperor, maybe even 2. Right? But one game I won, other games I even lost one time because my opponent reanimated him, and then I didn't have a flying answer, and until I found an answer, he exiled cards, and then he found like a burn spell. So I would not run Atsushi, to be honest. What else? Zurgo, more. Give me more of it. Such an amazing creature. I would even maybe run 3 of them. I will dedicate a deck to this card as soon as I have my main account, and I hope I will get some cards there on packs opening. I have a little bit from your previous donations left. I think there's like $15 left. I will invest it into this set, and also maybe drop some from my own to just get some cool decks out. And I'm trying to avoid to watch other content creators to not being manipulated by their deck building. I watch some smaller dudes I like there, and I know they will never build something in my direction, like so M Bacon, for example. I know M Bacon will never build something I built. But other creators I try to avoid, to just not being manipulated into the thinking that, hey, people saw it already, they don't want to see. I want to do a lot of things as soon as I have my account, but I also try to provide you things with this account. Loremaster, yes, keep this 2. 2 is perfect number, no more, no less. Takes over the game. I think we also saw it in the first game. Has a lot of synergies, has a lot of possibilities. I would like to see a Boros Spirit decks, and this is also my thinking that I would like to make something like this. Boros Spirits, right, where Loremaster can maybe go further, but there is also nice interaction with Segovia, because we can activate Loremaster in our turn, play the card for free, and then with Segovia we untap in the end step, so we untap our Loremaster and we can activate his ability for 3 mana again. Yeah, so this is a really nice interaction. Come up in a few games, but usually these games are already won if they don't have an answer from Loremaster on the same turn, because next turn it's gone. It's done. You draw your cards endless. We have at least Thirst of Discovery or some sort of card draw available. We have, for example, Merkshadia, but also we can replay our Wandering Emperor. You saw it maybe, and so on. Elspeth, Resplendent, cut. just here because I can play it with Segovia. She's really great. I have an Azorius deck where I have also Resplendent Angel and Segovia, and then you can pop Resplendent Angel really early in the game, as early on turn 4 or 5, and have mana left, and then it just snowballs like crazy. So this is why I have it also here in this deck, because it worked there really good, but I would cut her, to be honest. For the 2-drop, I would remove 1 Stance and add 1 more Destroy Evil. But I don't have Destroy Evil and I don't have the wildcards to craft it. I cannot craft a common. But so is it. And here, Negate I would replace with more Make Disappears, because I like Make Disappear interaction with Quintorius and Loremaster. We produce tokens, we are a token deck, Mr. Make Disappear makes amazing stuff. Search Engine I will also remove, never really was like so decisive. Those are just fillers, right? Fillers because they fit good into the synergies here, fit good into being unblockable, fit good into drawing cards and so on, but otherwise, Search Engine removing Stance, 1 less, 1 more evil, Negate removing, 1 more Make Disappear, Raff I will already said I will remove him, Voltage Scourge I will keep, is a good card. I think this is so, and mana base, obviously, guys. If you have the duels, these ones, Showdown Pass for example, that comes into the play if you have 2 or more lands untapped, keep them. We are not really relying on this curve turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, right? You saw maybe often I even try to play something like, or keep something on turn 2, because this is what we try to do. We keep something open on turn 2, like Make Disappear, or Stance, or Destroy Evil for Fable of the Cheeky Brick and so on, depends what my opponent is playing. And then on turn 3 we are escalating, right? We can play Ironclad and do Voltage Scourge for example, or we can play Waiting Announcement turn 4, Ironclad, keeping a removal on Counterspell open turn 5, playing Segovia, instantly skipping the Segovia, all the creatures become untapped, and then you have a white board and can cast any spell in your hand, usually because you can cast non-creature spells, so Wandering Emperors and so on, with Convoke. So yeah, and Convoke, don't forget, you can pay for Convoke colored mana with the color of the creature. This is why also Zurgo is an amazing creature, because it covers all our mana base. So we can Convoke with Zurgo, whatever. We want to Convoke for blue, Zurgo can do it, right? We want to Convoke something else, Third Path can do it with colorless tokens, but also he produces red and white. Also the white tokens produce white, and so on and so on. So, and blue tokens from Segovia produce blue, so there is never a problem to do something. Then I played at the beginning when I played in what was before Platinum, the other rank, Silver I think, or Gold, whatever, Gold I think. I played in Gold against few Mono Blue decks, and Mono Blue has, by the way, it is what I also consider Chrome Host Sea Shark, also a cool addition, maybe possible. I have just 1. And Devilish Volley, because sometimes we poop out a lot of tokens, and Devilish Volley is great if you play Devilish Volley. Turn 3, turn 4 Segovia, Devilish Volley is already a 4-3 with Trample, you can go and instantly flip Segovia if your opponent has nothing, or even if he has a blocker or 2, because you also have the Trampling Krakens with you, you usually flip with Devilish Volley the Segovia. But for Mono Blue there is this new 1 mana card, I forgot the name of course of it, it's from March of the Machine. 1 mana, deal 1 damage or deal 5 damage, where are you my friend? This one. Lutomatic Barrage, 1 mana sorcery, says this spell cannot be countered against Mono Blue, sugar, but also against anything that has Ward ability. Ward is a counter spell, so for example, amazing sideboard, right? Against Raffine is amazing because it says it deals 1 damage to target creature or planeswalker, so creature or planeswalker sorcery, speed 1 mana is okay. It deals 5 damage instead if the target is white or blue, right? So white and blue, there is a lot of white and blue targets, and against Mono Blue, super card. Against Esper, super card. Super card. Like, there is nothing, you can do nothing wrong with 1 mana, deal 5 damage to a planeswalker or a creature, right? I consider to run, or I would run this one, because as I said, in a Gold I encountered a lot of Mono Blue. If you are playing there, I didn't have the wildcards to craft it, but if you have the wildcards, definitely put 1-2 copies of it in, maybe instead of Scourge, if you encounter a lot of Mono Blue, because against Mono Blue, Scourge requires Iconoclast, and Iconoclast is not resolving because Mono Blue has counter spells, right? So this is shitty. But if you have like Voltage Scourge maybe alongside this one, and then you main phase Bargage on the Genie, they use a removal spell, you create a token with it or whatever, you have maybe another artifact, and then you Scourge it for 4, then the Genie is gone. And they invested a lot of resources to protect it, but you still won it, right? But the Bargage is a great card, don't sleep on it. I think I will put it in my sideboard so I can export it and you can have it in the exported list. Another small thing that I want to mention is the Monastery Mentor. As I said, I have an Azorius deck with him. I tried him in this build and he is not as good as I would like to, because you see, maybe we try to go on the theme of more non-creature spells, and the Monastery Mentor is a creature that we can also profit from non-creature spells, but I think this build is not the right place for it. I think Azorius is super good, I think Boros is super good with it, but in Jeskai tokens, it's just not the right play. Usually, 3 mana 2/2, he dies instantly to everything, like literally everything. I played against Mono Black where I tried to take over the game with a Mentor. I played the Mentor, and then my opponent Geeks Command, all creatures with power 2 or less die, and then Mentor and the tokens bye-bye, right? So it's the wrong build for Mentor. I think Mentor needs like some sort of tempo play. So if you consider, you can run it. I have million of Jeskai decks with him, try it, and none of them worked as good as this one that you see here. But you can try it, definitely. But I think in a tempo deck, more tempo-ish deck, like Boros, for example, Boros is a really great spot for Mentor. Not only having a lot of spells to interact, but also a lot of pump spells for him. I think there is the spot for it, but also Azorius, my Azorius deck with him, I'm gonna show it to you maybe next, right? There are some very similar cards, but we're of course cutting red for blue, and I also use a little bit Jingat Axis there, casually, because I drew 2 of them. Yeah, but this is so far it, I think, otherwise the breakdown will be too long. I will export this list for you, so you have the sideboard here options, replace something if you don't have it, and don't forget to don't sleep on the Barrage, because amazing card. Otherwise, yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, I hope you like it, and I hope to see you in the next one.